Memphis. Nothing but Memphis.
That's right, guys. Nothing but Memphis Showboats right here on the Captain's Log with your host, Brandon, a.k.a. The Captain. And let me tell you what, guys, I just want to thank everybody for showing up, showing out, tuning into this episode. It's an extra special episode of the Captain's Log, an unprecedented episode of the Captain's Log. That's right. We got our first win, okay? First win of the season. First win since 1985, okay? Let that fun little stat sink in, all right? So fun to talk about that one. It's been a while, guys. I'm so happy I get to be here on a week where we get to talk about a win. So, like I said, first win of the modern era Showboats. First win since 1985. Last win came against the Denver Gold in a playoff game where the Boats destroyed them 48-7. Easy peasy. Now, guess what? 4 decades later, and the folks in Memphis, we got something to cheer about again. All right? So let's talk about it. The Boats did what a lot of people thought was unthinkable, improbable, not impossible, but unlikely. And that is beat a Michigan Panthers team who was coming off a bad loss, looking to have a big get-back game, a big get-right game, if you will, but turned into a big trap game for them. I was not expecting that. The Boats came out, and they came out hot, and they took control of this game and really never let up. Okay, it started off with a great kick return from Kareth White. Returned, I think, like 50-plus yards. But then after that, it looked like the same old Boats, man. The Michigan Panthers defense was doing what they do. They're a real good unit. They showed themselves early. That front seven they have is vicious. Boats had to settle for a field goal, even after that great return from Kareth White. So that really hurt. It was like, oh, man, here we go again. Boats get a little momentum, and then nothing can happen from it. On top of that, it's Alex Kessman's first week back. So thanks to Kareth White, we were able to get into field position to go for the 54-yard field goal attempt. Now, Alex Kessman has not made a field goal past, I believe, 30-some-odd yards this season. And he got sat down last week due to just his inconsistencies in the kicking game, the first 2 games of the season. The game against the Stars, we probably could have tied him up or even won that game if Alex hits all his kicks in that one. So he got sat down last week. Brandon Wright came in handling field goal duties, kickoff duties, punting duties. Dude's leg was absolutely tired. Excuse me so much. I'm so sorry. Like I said, Alex Kessman had to come out for the 54-yard attempt. His first attempt of the day being back, being active. First attempt being active back on the roster. And no big deal. Just go out there, kick the 54, which would be the longest field goal of the USFL season this season. And he does it. He goes out, knocks it through, clean operation. Here we go. Huge boost of momentum like one I've never seen this season so far. That kick was great for Alex, I'm sure, to get that monkey off his back and realize, hey, I'm back in it. I'm a kicker. This is what I do. I have the NCAA record for most kicks over 50 yards. This is what I do. Okay? So good to see Kessman come back. From then on, I mean, Boats were really in control of this game. Such a joy to see for the first time this season as a fan. Like I said, we won. You can see down there, we won 29-10. And the way we did it was great situational football. An area that has really been lacking and killing us over the past 3 weeks of the season, whether that's the turnover differential, the red zone opportunities, the self-inflicted wounds like your false start penalties and your holdings on big returns like that Kareth White return. Could you imagine if we got a holding on that one and it had to be brought back? It's just such a demoralizing thing, these little penalties like that. On top of that, third downs conversions, the Boats were like dead last in the league, if not the last. I think the Maulers might be worse, but Showboats in situational football so far this season have just not been two things that you can say in the same sentence. They have not worked out. This game, it all changed. Everything was on point, full team effort, all phases of the game. Let's start with the red zone. The Boats were able to score every time they were in the red zone, whether it be a field goal or a touchdown. They went 3 for 4 in the red zone. The fourth one was at the end of the game, just going for it on fourth down. Not Todd Haley deciding not to kick the field goal and just tack on some extra points. Instead, he goes for the fourth down. We don't get it. The game ends with the Panthers struggling to get out of their own end zone, basically. So that one, pretty much a wash. But other than that, like I said, red zone, we scored every time, okay? Every time. That's what you got to do. Whether it's 3, whether it's 6, you got to score every time. Obviously, we'd like to finish some more of these, and we're going to have to finish some more of these if we want to have a chance against the Breakers next week. But let's wrap up this game, and we'll talk about those big bad wolves that we're going to have to go see. Ooh, excuse me. So doing good in the red zone. Let's talk about the third downs. Like I said, the Boats have been absolutely horrendous. They've been converting on less than 30% of their third down attempts this season. And one good way to convert third downs is to not even have a third down. Okay, let's just try that. The Boats were converting first and second downs, staying ahead of the chains. And that's always great. If you could just avoid third down entirely, every team would avoid third down entirely. But there were a few crucial third downs and some fourth down conversions that had to be made this game. And both touchdown drives, those kind of conversions came courtesy of Mr. Papali Jr., as we've heard by now. If you don't know, now you know. The son of Vince Papali, the movie Invincible was based off of. Mark Wahlberg played him. Philadelphia Eagles folklore legend. This is his son, Vinny Papali Jr., with the Bandits last year. Always made these kind of clutch plays like this. Dude got absolutely rocked last week. Came out this week, ready to play, ready to perform, like nothing ever happened. He got a great fourth down conversion to keep a drive alive one time, and then a great catch from Cole Kelly down to get us into the 5 to set up the Cole Kelly rushing touchdown. I mean, Papali, his middle name was Clutch this day. Okay, when you needed a ball, it was going to Papali. Him and Kelly seem to have a great little connection going on. Hoping to see some more of that next week. Hoping to see a little more Ryan McDaniel involved or Cyrus Mitchell involved. This wide receiver room is deadly, man. If we can get all these guys involved and spread this ball around and get these guys involved, this offense could be scary. Cole Kelly starting to pick things up, starting to look better each week, as you would hope and expect, now that he's been named the starter and has these first rep practices under his belt. So third down, fourth down conversions, awesome. Good job. Last thing, biggest thing, situational football, the turnover battle. Okay, the Boats have been not very good getting any turnovers at all, enforcing no takeaways. They just got their first interception last week, and there's an old cliche in these football circles. All these coaches talk about it. Turnovers and these things, these balls that bounce your way, they come in bunches. Okay, so it's like you just need one. And we got that one last week, and it seemed to have opened up the floodgates, and we can hopefully keep them opened up for the rest of the season. We had 2 interceptions, 2 forced fumbles, absolutely no giveaways. So the offense played clean. Special teams played clean. No fumbles this week, no picks this week. And that's what you got to do, man. You got to be the team not messing up and take advantage of the team that is messing up. And this week, the Boats did just that. The Panthers were messing up. Josh Love with some errant throws, and both his interceptions came in the red zone. So he had one that was picked off by Anthony Butler on a promising Michigan drive as they were going down, looking like they could have at least got 3, at least settled for 3. But a red zone interception from Anthony Butler, and then an end zone interception before halftime, courtesy of Jermaine Kelly, that also stopped the Panthers from getting any kind of momentum going into halftime, whether it be a field goal or whatever would have happened after that play. Panthers head coach Mike Nolan actually called a timeout on that play to run this one more, touchdown or bust play. Great idea. I mean, I would want my coach to do it as well. It just the Boats capitalized on it. Jermaine Kelly capitalized on it, got the interception, kept them from scoring any points, kept them from getting any momentum going into halftime, and that seemed like it paid dividends, man. When you can get interceptions and not only get them in the red zone right as a team is driving, they think they're doing everything right, and then you get into that crunch time, or the field shortens for everybody. Everybody's got a lot less things to worry about. It all worked out in the end. Great 2 interceptions. Like I said, both of them coming in the red zone. And then the fumbles, we had a fumble that sealed the game, really. Jeff McCulloch came in and just took the ball out of Josh Love's hands. Got a great bounce. It bounced right back up to him. Strip sack, counted as a strip sack, touchdown, scoop, and score. Okay? Strip sack, touchdown, scoop, and score. That's what Jeff McCulloch did. Okay? He came in, he takes ball out of quarterback's hands as ball is being thrown, says, no, give me that. Thank you. Runs right into the end zone. Awesome play from Jeff. Jeff even said in the post game that he wasn't even supposed to play this week, but Haley gave him the go-ahead. Haley said he felt like he looked good enough to play. Jeff had been battling an injury throughout practice this week, so there were some questions on if he was going to go. He went, and look what happened. Thank you, Jeff. For Jeff's efforts in that game, he was nominated for Defensive Player of the Week in the USFL. Low-key got robbed, okay? Nothing against Mr. Diggs. I love Vontae Diggs. I love Diggs, okay? Love Diggs. Dude's a dog, okay? I'm just saying. McCulloch got a touchdown. None of the other nominees got a touchdown. The defensive guy turned into an offensive guy. So, I don't know. You tell me. I don't know. There's some bias. Obviously, from my side. But I also think we need to take into account these polls are very biased as well. The Stallions and the Breakers, and I think the Panthers are like the top 3 fan bases when it comes to like social media presence. So those guys are naturally going to get more votes on their players when they're up for Player of the Week nominations. To the point, in fact, this season so far, every Player of the Week winner has featured a Stallion or a Breakers player. So it's all right, man, because Jeff, he's going on my Player of the Week this week. He's going on my graphic. I had a poll on my Twitter. Follow that bad boy right there. And my boy Jeff, he won that one. Close between him, Cole, and Kessman for me. Cole obviously had a great game, scoring the 2 rushing touchdowns. Kessman, obviously, huge bounce back game for him, hitting his field goals. And Jeff scores touchdowns on defense. So when your defense scores a touchdown for you, I don't know how much better you can get than that. Did your defense win? I think so. So enough about that. On to the Breakers. Got the Breakers coming into town. The only way the boats are going to pull this one off is they're going to have to score touchdowns. Touchdowns. No field goals. I love you, Alex, but we'll kick some long field goals, but we need to convert these red zone opportunities into touchdowns only this week. The Breakers are explosive as can be. Their offense has what I think is the MVP front runner and the Offensive Player of the Year front runner. McLeod Bethel Thompson at quarterback, MVP. Wes Hills at running back, Offensive Player of the Year. Or switch them however you want to do it. We know USFL doesn't have to be a quarterback award for MVP. We saw that with Turpin last year. So you could easily see Wes Hills getting MVP and MBT getting OPOY. So those guys are explosive. They got Sage Surratt too, by the way, who's a tight end, but is leading the league in receiving yards and yards after the carry or yards after catch. So going to have to stop him. And once you stop him, if you can stop him, you still got guys like Johnny Dixon and big play Jay Adams on the outside. So going to be a tough task for the defense. Definitely need those turnovers that we had this week. Basically, we need to do everything we did against the Panthers and do it about tenfold against the Breakers, okay? If we could pull off the miracle, guys, it'll be awesome. I don't think so, but last week when I didn't think so, we got the upset win. So here's my prediction. Breakers 30, boats 20. Hopefully the boats keep it respectable. Hopefully we look good. And hopefully we come out with the win, man. This was fun. I'm glad I could finally do one of these on a victory. And let's try to do it again next week, huh? Thank you guys for tuning in. Hit that subscribe. You know we're giving away that Turpin jersey. You get all the cool things like our shorts. They're pretty funny, I think. Our guys put in some work into them. So stay subscribed, guys. See you next week. Go Boats.